Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents G.I. Joe Tuesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Carded Stalker. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And here on the top, it's got warning, don't stick things in your pie hole that don't belong there. And then over here, ages 4 and up, assortment numbers, and then that classic G.I. Joe Real American Hero logo, even though it doesn't say Real American Hero. Sergeant Stalker. And then there is some nice retro styled artwork. Nice big blister on the package, showcasing the figure and his accessories. Hasbro, the classic Hasbro symbol. Nothing really on the bottom. On the back, it's got G.I. Joe in the red, white, and blue colors. Red, white, and blue. And the blue star. And then it's got a file card on here. Sergeant Stalker Lonzo R. Wilkinson. And if you guys want to read all that, you can pause it right here and read it in whichever language you want to. And again, there's that nice artwork of Stalker. Here's the cross sale: Retro Cobra Commander, Retro Stalker, which is this figure, and Retro Cobra Trooper. Now, here we have parents, GIJoe.com, and it even did the red, white, and blue stripes on here. Attention, especially don't stick things in your French pie hole. Recycle this stuff. Throw it in the trash. Warning, attention, Octoon. Don't stick things in any language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to baby. Small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. That, my friends, constitutes our look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And first up, we'll start with the accessories, and nothing new about any of this stuff from the mold. The only thing that didn't come with the previous regular classified series Stalker is the retro stand. Of course, this paint job. That's the only things that are different. So here is his primary weapon, I guess, or at least one of his primary weapons. All molded in black plastic. Nice molded detail throughout, very realistic looking. It does have a port here for blast effects. Sight here and here. So very cool. Also comes with that same ammo box. Looks like, well, I don't know if this is a paint app. I think it is a paint app. So this is a paint app, but this piece is also glued in here, I do believe. And how this works with this, there's a port right here in the underside of the gun. Just make sure the bullets are facing forward. And that would be the pointy ends for those of you who don't know. And it fits right there into the loading portion of the gun. So there's that. Still a cool piece. Not my favorite Stalker piece. So here we have his sidearm. Nice molded details. I'm pretty sure we've seen this before. I think it's been used in places other than Stalker as well. And then porting the end of it for blast effect. Or it does also come with a suppressor. And there's the post that fits in the port of the gun. And then it has a port here as well for blast effects. And the way that works, if you don't know already, it just ports in. And that looks a little better. Yeah, that's correct. So there's that. Next up, he does have a knife molded in black plastic with a nice silver paint app on it. Nice molded details in the handle. If I can turn it where you can see it here. So very nice. And again, same knife. I believe that came with the original Stalker. Not the original, but the first release classified. Then here is his backpack holster, I guess you could call it, for his other weapon. And has nice molded details. It's got all kinds of straps and buttons and more straps and clips and all kinds of stuff. Nice molded detail here on the back side as well. Here's the post that goes into the port on its back. So next up we have his other rifle, which looks more like the original 3 3/4 inch Stalker's included weapon. So nice molded details, all molded in black plastic. Again, there's a port here at the end of the barrel for blast effects. There's also a port right here for the ammo magazine or clip, however you like to call it. Growing up in the 80s, you probably called it a clip. So nice molded details on this piece as well, and it only goes in the gun one way. And that's this way. Facing, you know, these parts facing forward. So there's that. Now you have to remove the clip in order to fit it in the holster. There's also a piece here for the clip to go as well, and you just slide that in there, and the gun slides into place. This plastic seems a little bit harder, the holster plastic seems a little bit harder than the previous release, but the gun, it stays in there, but it feels really loose. So there's that. Here, of course, is Stalker's beret. And look at those nice classic colors on it, as well as this gold paint app right here on the front. Just, this looks so much better in these colors. His final accessory is the stand. It's got the G.I. Joe star on it. It's got a place right here where the name sticker or tampo would go. 2 pegs. Not much on the underside. Made out of a kind of a glossy plastic, and I'm not complaining about those at all. I love the fact that these retro releases come with those stands. Now, as far as the sculpt goes, there's nothing new here going on that I can tell. It's exactly the same as the standard release, just, you know, different colors. Looks like the neck and head, all the paint apps for that are probably the same. And very stern looking man Lonzo is. It's got a bit of a, I don't know exactly what you would call that hairstyle, but anyway. It's a hairstyle. It's the same as the other one. Again, same mold used. It just, to me, looks so much better in these colors. And maybe that's just because that's what I'm used to. So, very nice looking. So, as far as his articulation, oh, this is a separate piece right here. Just like on the previous release. So, and it does wobble and move around a good bit. So let's talk about his articulation real quick. Head, neck, and upper torso, all 3 separate pieces. I think there's a ball joint at the bottom of the neck and then a dumbbell at the top for the head. So he can look up that high. He can look down that low. He's got some chicken neck. He's got a waggle. He can do the full exorcist at the shoulder. Does have a butterfly hinge, and it will go back about that far. Forward a little bit better, but not by a whole bunch. 360-degree rotation at the shoulder as well. Can raise his arm up slightly better than 90 degrees. Double hinged pinless elbow, and it gives you that much bend. 360 degrees of rotation at the wrist, and this one's on an in and out hinge. This one is on up and down hinge. So very nice. Standard ab hinge here, and then ball joint at the waist. And in conjunction with those two joints working together, he can lean back that far, and he can crunch forward that far at the waist. He can lean left and right just a little bit. He does have a full 360-degree rotation there as well. Pull down hinges at the hips. He can give you this full splits, it looks like. Kicks forward about 90 degrees. Backwards, maybe about a half a step. Cut at the upper thigh. Gives you full 360 degrees of rotation. Now I forgot to mention the knife sheath and the sidearm holster are separate pieces that can, you can move them around, slide them up, swap sides, I guess, if you wanted to. So at the knee, it's a double hinged pinless knee, and it gives you that much bend, so really good. Nice range of motion there. And at the mid shin, there is a boot cut for another 360-degree rotation. At the ankle, tilts down that far, so really good. Tilts up that far, that's really good too. And forward-facing pin for rocker. Now, as far as accessory storage goes, his knife, you can see how it's supposed to go in there. Whether I can do it on camera or not. So you get it in there, it goes down and fits in snugly. Pistol, you have to remove the suppressor from it. It fits down in this holster nicely. I guess you don't have to pull it off, but it's much easier. And then there's a little, I don't want to call it a loop because it ain't round, but there's a piece right here, right in front of the pistol. I'm not sit too far. Right in front of the pistol for the silencer to go as well. As far as the stand goes, he's got two ports in the bottom, or he's got a port in the bottom of each foot, and you just put the posts on there. It stays pretty well. Primary weapon, there's no storage for it, so he just has to hold it in his hand, and then the stand comes off his feet. That. His secondary weapon, again, like I said, there's this port here in his back, and it does kind of help hold these straps in position a little bit. And then we'll slide the gun back in there because it fell out. Like I noted, stepping all over my words there. Like I noted before, it is a little loose. And then finally, he's going to fall off the stand again before I get to this last piece. I hate that. And then, of course, the last piece is his hat. And of course, it being a hat, he wears it on his head. And it's a little bit loose as well, unfortunately. So there you have it, my friends. There's a look at Lonzo and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Carded Stalker with the G.I. Joe Classified Series regular release Sergeant Stalker, the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Carded Commando Snake Eyes, the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Carded Scarlet, and the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Carded Duke. Here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Carded Stalker with the Valaverse Action Force Special Deployment Series Swarm Sentry and the Valaverse Action Force Scarab. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Carded Sergeant Stalker with, from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From G.I. Joe Classified Series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison, from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Carded Stalker, the first thing I have to say is what a better paint job, in my opinion. Your mileage, of course, may vary. Better colors on the paint job, at least, make all the difference for the figure. And it's not that I dislike the standard Classified Series Sergeant Stalker in the darker camouflage colors. I'm sure it's probably much more realistic than the A Real American Hero colors. But when I think of Stalker, this is the color scheme that I think of when I think Stalker. And I have to say, the darker colors with his darker skin tone on the original figure, it doesn't... To me, the skin tone looks like it's a bit washed out when against the darker camouflage colors. And that could just be my copy of Stalker. It could be the paint, it could be the plastic. There's several things that it could be, but it just feels like to me this is a better looking figure. It's much more classic. It's what I think of when I think Alonzo. When I think of Alonzo. And I prefer this. Maybe it's that these are his daytime colors and the regular Classified Series is his nighttime color. So if he's going on a raid at night, he wears those darker colors, and in the daytime he wears the brighter colors. I guess that's how you can explain it for your collection. That's how I'm going to explain it for my collection now. But what a great figure. The only thing this guy was missing is a jump jetpack. And I always, even though I know Stalker didn't originally come with a jump jetpack, that's how I always think him. He's the one that I always thought of using the jump jetpack. He's the one in the cartoon. It's not that they didn't all kind of use it, but it's just like Stalker. I remember Stalker using it more. So to me, that's the one thing this release is missing, is a jump jetpack, and I think it really should have been included. But we'll get it straightened out. Whether I 3D print one, or whether I buy one, or whether I use one of the Steel Brigade. jump jetpacks. I don't know, but he's gonna get a jump jetpack, and that's all there is to it. So, I like this figure. If you're a fan of a real American hero, if you're a fan of the retro carded classified series figures, this one is a pickup for you. This, to me, is the definitive Stalker. They don't need to make the international team Stalker, although they probably will. But for my 2 cents, this is the only Stalker that I really need. And had I known that the classified retro carded series was going to be a thing, I probably would not have bought the regular version of Stalker. But, you know, I thought it was going to be a short-lived Walmart exclusive and go away. But thank goodness I was wrong. And now we have this. And even though I said I probably would have waited, if I had known when the original came out, and not the original Real American Hero, but when the regular release of the classified series figure had come out, if they would have announced the regular classified series and the retro carded at the same time, I definitely would only have purchased this version. Because for me, these are the definitive colors for Stalker. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Issue does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I am now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link, and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.